holding up the fort here. Um, so we are going to have some guests roll in here in just a little bit. We've got Russell Hands joining us, our fiery Russell from Survivor. So no worries on that. But I'm going to go ahead and introduce the man with the big personality. Not only does he have a big personality, he's got a big rig. Give it up for Sam Smooth.
Thank you. Yo, when Rachel says we're literally holding up the fort, we have little toothpicks trying to hold up this fort. This is how this feels right now.
We are over here with our
toothpicks. Yeah, that's how it feels. It's so, and then I'm in here talking to everyone in the chat, and I'm using Melissa's phone because Zach was playing games or whatever on his little phone, killed the battery. So I just noticed when I was commenting and everything, all of a sudden my name now is Babes. So in the chat, if you see a comment from Babes with a picture of my wife, it's me.
Oh my Lord.
Should be a good
You're
time.
Babe. It's okay, Babes. Awesome.
Thank you. Everyone can call me Babes.
And of course, I am Rachel from Big Brother 20. There is no way I can fill Matt's shoes at all because he's literally the best host ever. But we are going to try our best here tonight. We are live on all platforms. We are live on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, and in the TVCO app and on Twitter. So you can follow us on any of those platforms and watch us live there. Also, you can hit the follow button, the blue follow button. You can get notified on when we go live. Also, you can share our show by using the three little dots. We greatly appreciate it. And yeah, I'm ready to start this show and get it going. We are reading your comments on all the platforms. So guys, send your comments in. Let us know how you're doing, and we'll love to interact with you. So let's get right into it while we wait on all of our guests to get here. Sam, how's it going? How do you feel about this week? I mean, a very predictable week. Okay, so let's start out. We had Memphis go home in a complete blindside. Our first blindside of the season. Were you happy to see Memphis go home? Was this the correct choice for the rest of the week?
All right, so you know how you have to separate personal and game whenever someone plays Big Brother. So on my end, from Nicole and being close with Nicole has filled me in how like Memphis acts like off the camera, this and that. And I don't want to trash the guy because like we've all been there. Everyone's under pressure when you're in front of a camera. But for me, I'm not a huge fan of Memphis. If I were to see Memphis in Vegas and I were on a charity thing or something like that, I would totally get a picture with Memphis. But me personally, I wouldn't be friends with Memphis. I just see his personality, my personality, it would clash. So watching him on a personal game or a personal, I guess it is personal game in Big Brother, I don't like it. If it's all right for certain players' games, like, okay. I don't really see it messing up that much because I was sort of happy that he was evicted. Like, he's gone. Great. It's kind of probably how people felt on my season when people wanted, like, Christy gone. And they're like, oh, thank God she's gone. And they didn't know why. They just didn't like her. Like, that's how I almost feel with, like, Memphis. Like, you know, he's gone. Great. Let's focus on the game. Who's still in? Who's not? So I think it was an all right game move because I'm not a huge fan of Memphis. So I'm like, hey, get him out. Like, good. But was it a blindside? Like, yeah, he said it was a blindside. But, you know, the little voice in your head, like, was it really a blindside? Did he know? Did he get those social cues? I don't know. Do you think it was a blindside? Are you
Well, he said in his exit interview with Julie that he was blindsided, although we did not get the reaction. We did not get a "What's wrong with Angela" reaction. I will say that.
Yes, very disappointed.
I was looking for a Memphis reaction. I was looking for that typical blindside reaction, but we did not get that from him. Of course we didn't, because Memphis is a man of, I feel like he's like stone cold most of the time.
Yeah, true. But like still, like couldn't you drum it up for the cameras though? Because like you almost saw when Julie Chen read the votes off, he was already doing the little nod, like yep, and then he didn't stand up like I don't know. I'm not believing it was a blindside. I think he knew, and when it happened, he was like, okay, well that makes sense. Bye.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I know. And he said, like he said in his exit interview, he knew that or he could feel the energy in the I guess in the house the
Makes
day of.
sense.
Did you feel the
Yeah.
energy in the house the day you got evicted? Like, did you know you were going home?
Yes, but I mean, for the people that watch the live feeds and stuff, remember that whole blowout happened, and I was like worried about it. So
Yes.
I knew like it was brewing. I was on the block. I was still trying to like touch base with people here and there, but I knew I was already going. But then when all of a sudden shit hit the fan, I was like, "Yo, this is my chance to stay. This might happen." And when Christy pulled me into the bathroom with Sis and was like, "Sam, do you want to stay?" And I could tell Christy's emotion in her face. She was dead serious because she was like kind of teary eyed. She was kind of nervous. She's like, "Do you want to stay, Sam?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, let's stay. Let's do this." And then when we all went back out to the living room after more fighting and this and that, we went out to the living room, and that's when like Cliff turned to me and was like, "I couldn't do it, Sam." And looked at Jack, and Jack was like, "Sorry, buddy." And I was like, "Oh, I'm still going. All right, bye." And I was like, "Fine." So the minute the camera started, I knew like 30 seconds before. So I was just like, "All right." I kind of wanted to go because I missed the boys. I don't want to be in jury. And I was like, if it's my
Yeah.
time, it's my time. But now looking back at it, it's so easy to watch the show as a viewer and be like, "Oh, I love jury, not be bothered by anything, have food for days, not have a care in the world." But it's not like that. Like from what I see from people, it sucks. Like you're by yourself, you still miss people, you don't get letters from home. This last show, they did get videos, but that's rare. But like it's still
Yeah.
like you're still by yourself. And if you don't like the people you're in jury with, that's gonna blow even more. So like I was out. I was ready. So my energy in the room, I already knew it when I was going, and I was okay with that. So that's why I'm still not believing the Memphis blindside. I think he knew, but I think when he came out, he was like, "Yeah, blindside," because like it would hurt his pride to say elsewise. I guess. Like I
Yeah.
just think he wanted to pretend like that's the only reason why I went. I was blindsided instead of taking
Hmm.
like responsibility for his game. Like yeah, I screwed up. I made some deals. I got burned on the wise guys. All that stuff. He was just like blindsided. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Like, bro, I think you knew you were going.
Yeah, like I said, didn't give much of a reaction, but who knows with
Yeah.
Memphis? I mean, I wait, I think we have somebody. Oh, well, hello,
Hey,
Eric.
Hello,
Eric.
hello.
Oh, well, okay, never mind. We do have a guest coming in soon.
We're gonna sit
So,
down.
but in a few minutes, I mean, I said the first name. We don't know which Eric it is, though. So, the anticipation is killing us.
It's
But
killing me.
we do have somebody going to join in. Shall I introduce or should I? Okay. All right. Well, we are going. So we had Memphis go home, and we have an HOH competition. And Sam, who wins? Do you even
Oh
know?
God, every question is me. Like there's
Well,
nobody
you're my
else.
only friend in
I
here.
know. It's okay. I got you, Rachel.
All
All
right.
right.
We
Wait, what's the question now?
we
I
have
lost it.
we have we have Enzo winning HOH.
Yep.
Okay, so we saw in this episode, we saw Nicole getting angry, we
Yep.
saw Cody getting
Stupid.
angry, and
Stupid.
they're sitting there thinking, is he just dumb or is is he just off on his own? And as we saw in the diary room, he kind of just went off on his own. He
Right.
said, he's like, forget these idiots. I'm going off on
Yeah.
my own and I
Meow
am going to
meow.
win this. The meow meow has to look out for himself, of course.
Yeah.
So everyone seeming so annoyed, and Nicole saying, you know what, I'm finally seeing Enzo's true colors.
Yep.
So we have Enzo winning. Let's just talk for a second. What
Sure.
big moves has Enzo made this season?
Zero. I have not seen anything as a viewer. Maybe live feeds, he's strategizing with a social game or whatever. But as a viewer watching the game, he's not. So I feel like whoever he goes to the end with, whoever it is, I feel like he will get second place. I don't think, like, even him and Christmas, I think well, if it was him and Christmas, maybe, but that's not going to happen. But I just think he hasn't done enough to other people to even when like there's always one person when they're going to vote. It's like Survivor and Big Brother. Whenever they go to vote, one person every season will stand up and say, "You know what, everybody, even if you hate this person, put that aside and focus on who did the best game and vote on the game. And I feel like that always changes votes. I think people stand up like that are butthurt and they're like, okay, you know what? In reality, Cody's got this. And I feel like at that split second on a vote, I don't think Enzo's going to have enough oomph to actually persuade Jerry and get the votes, because I think whoever he's up against, I think they're going to win it, especially Cody. If Cody does it, great. Nicole does it, I could see it. Christmas, but we're pretty sure she's not going to make it. But if she does, like, I could picture Christmas doing like a great game talk. If Enzo were to win this, my mind would be blown. So I'm gonna look like an idiot if Enzo wins this.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, we're going to bring in our first guest. We've got Eric from Reality Recaps joining us last minute. Give it up for Eric.
Oh my God, I am such a huge fan. I have been waiting all season to say that I'm an armchair all-star.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for joining us last minute.
Isn't live shows fun?
Oh my gosh, it's so much fun.
It's so much fun.
So much fun. Well, Eric, we were talking about big moves.
Okay.
Do you think Enzo has made any big moves this season?
Enzo has done absolutely no moves this season. Nicole and I had a huge argument about this yesterday while we were watching the show, because not only has he made no big moves, the one big move he thinks he's gonna make, take Cody to Final 2, is the stupidest move I've ever heard of.
Yeah. I mean, it really sucks for him because he did make Final 3 on his last season. And you would think that Enzo would be smart enough to recognize that this is the same thing that happened to Cody on his season whenever he took, when he took Derek. This is exactly what happened then. And the fact that Enzo is not realizing that the only way that he is going to win this game is to cut Cody is so annoying.
Yeah. But has anybody ever done that? Because there's people that have done this. Cody and Derek, probably this season coming up. Let's see. But like somehow people think that loyalty is going to make you win. As if you're going to bring someone and that person is going to stand up to Jerry and be like, listen, vote for this guy because he brought me to the end and he did swear on it. Like, if anything, loyalty is to one person. You get one little respect out of this one thing, but you burn yourself in the whole entire game. What were you playing for? Were you playing the entire game to bring one person to the end because your loyalty shows? Meow meow. No, like it's not, like, come on. This is Big Brother, especially at this end here. This is cutthroat, and that's why Cody and Nicole saying about Enzo, like, oh, I can't believe he showed his true colors. It's what, Final 5 we're at or something? Like 4 or 5? Like, come on. Of course it's final color time. Like, get out of here. You're going to stand there and be like, I can't believe he did. Think about his own game. You're damn right you are. You made it this far, and then you're going to sit there like, nah, I can't believe he did that. Like, what game are you playing? Is this like the social strategy game? No, it's Big Brother. Play it. And I think, like, if Enzo brings Cody to the end, he's going to lose. And rightfully so. He should lose. Cody should win if he goes to the end.
Yeah.
Meow,
meow, meow. Meow, meow for life. Meow, meow for life. Do you think there's any way Nicole can win?
If Enzo brings her.
I think Nicole could possibly win over Christmas.
That's the only one I think she has a chance against, because I'm pretty sure Devon is going to make sure that jury gives her no votes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. I don't, and I even think with a Nicole and Enzo that Enzo could quite possibly get a win. I mean, especially if, again, I mean, I've said this in other podcasts I've been in, whoever cuts Cody is winning the game. It's Cody or whoever cuts Cody.
That'd be a huge move.
Yeah, huge. That's where we're at right now. So it's, not much more to see. Eric, how did you feel when Nicole, Sam said how he felt, but how did you feel when Nicole and Cody were just so annoyed with the fact that he was playing his own game?
I mean, same thing. It's very frustrating to watch, especially because we all know, for whatever reason you believe, they've been in a dominant power alliance all season. They really have not had a struggle that much in this game. They were always in power. And it's a little ridiculous once there's the slightest bit of opposition coming against them. They're like, this isn't fair.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
Why aren't you playing for me? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and we've seen that all season with, when things don't go their way. I mean, they've been going their way the entire season. So when the slightest thing doesn't go their way, we definitely see a little bit of a whiny stuff. I wrote down here, I said, had Enzo, because he talked about it in the episode, he said, I wish I had cut Nicole when I had the chance, and then I wouldn't be in this predicament. So had Enzo cut Nicole instead and brought David along, I think we would see a Final Four with David in it, first off. And I feel like Enzo would be in such a great position to actually win the game, even more so. Like now I feel like his only chance is he has to cut Cody, but he would have had a greater chance had he cut Nicole. That's such a big game move.
Yep.
I mean, his argument, and, some people say he came up with this argument after the fact, but what he said on the live feeds really made sense to me. He said the reason he cut David was because he didn't want a scenario where everybody now going forward sits next to a David, and then obviously we get rid of the stronger person. We keep dragging David to the end. He was like, I know I'm not that tight yet really with these other people. I need to give myself the best chance to go forward. And if they put me up against David, I'm going home. But if I cut David now and they put me up next to a Cody, a Nicole, a Christmas, there's a good chance I'll survive. So whether he really thought that in that moment or not, at least I thought that was interesting because I didn't even think of that factor as far as his game was concerned.
Yeah, he had a really good reasoning behind why he did it. It's just hindsight's 2020
right.
in the position that he is now. But we never know in the Big Brother house where things are going to go. No. So that sucks. And what was I going to say? Oh yeah. So I mean, Eric, you can't really, I guess, I don't know, maybe relate to this because you haven't been in the Big Brother house, but I thought it was really funny, and Sam, you could probably relate a little bit, when they had the little small talk segment in the Big Brother house. And I was just wondering, Sam, for you, did that happen for you in the house? Like when you were in there, were you just like, God, I have to go over here and do this conversation, but I really don't want to?
Oh, 100%. And I don't know how to answer this because I don't want to burn people who don't really have problems with me, but it's hard to explain this because I've said this before. In the Big Brother house, in real life, if there's somebody you don't vibe with, you don't talk to them. You're not friends with them. They're out of your life. No big deal. It's like your neighbor across the street that steals your newspaper. You don't vibe with them. You have no problem with them, but you just don't talk to them. Well, in Big Brother, every day is a work day. So Saturday comes along and everyone's getting the weekend off and you're out there trying to have conversations with people who you're not really fond of. You have nothing in common. You don't care. You ever meet those people that talk about themselves 24/7? And then you sit there like, oh, let me hear the one-upper. Go ahead. Today I went to the circus. Well, I went skydiving. Well, today I swam in a pool. Well, I swam in the ocean. And you're like, give it up. Like in the house, you have to make conversations happen with these people. And there's no days off. And it's super, super strenuous. And I totally forget what the question was. But that's what I was going with that. It was super stressful for me. Whatever the question was.
Yeah, well, the small talk in the Big Brother house. It can just be
talk, super tough for me because there's people that I couldn't just vibe with. I like them as people. I'm sure they mean well, but there's only so much I could take, and it was super hard for me. Whether it's somebody saying the mole on my knee is probably cancerous and I probably should get it checked out by a doctor. Somebody saying my eyes are too close to me on my head, like stuff like that. And you just have to be friends with these people because if you turn your back on them, they might backstab you in the next eviction. You know, it's small talk is extremely hard for me. Extremely.
How would small talk be for you, Eric?
Super easy. Watch this. Sam, it's a social game.
Oh, get out of here. Eric, you had a place in my heart right here. No, it's gone.
Social. Yeah,
No.
I'm great, Sam. 10 years. I've been pretending like I care what reality stars say to me for No, I'm kidding. I'm totally
It's
kidding.
probably
But no,
true.
when you have to talk to people for a living, I guess it's just easy to make small talk. So I don't
Yeah.
think I would have trouble with it.
But every day though, for 24 hours, every day, you think you'd be fine?
Sam, you lived with Nicole, right?
She does that.
Okay, because she's here all the time now, and it's like like 1,000 questions.
Isn't she hiding on you? I saw in one video.
I don't know. I don't know. She's not here now, and that's great.
Is
I'm
she though?
totally
She could be on there. She could be behind the corner of the house right now,
Maybe.
waiting to scare you. You never know.
I don't know. But no, I think I could. I think I could. I think I would fall into the pitfall that a lot of people fall into, where I would get bored. I would probably start making jokes. Maybe they wouldn't be appropriate. And then I would come out and I would have no more reality recaps and everything would be burned to the ground. So I'm smart enough not to know I can't play that game.
Yeah.
Genius. Don't go on
I
Big
would,
Brother.
I would run out of things to talk about. That was my biggest problem. I would start to run out of things to talk about, or I'd just be like, huh. And I remember it was so funny. I remember Sam from my season that no one ever hears about anymore. Love Sam. She would always just she would get so angry. She would just be like, I don't have anything to talk about today. Get away from me. I don't even know what to say to you anymore. It's like you get to that point where you just like, I have no more material to talk about.
Yeah.
Like it just gets so, but I don't know. It just gets difficult, but still think I'm pretty good at small talk. Okay. So so we see that he puts up Nicole and Christmas. Eric puts up Nicole and Christmas. Do you think this was his best move?
I think it didn't matter, and I don't understand why they all got so butthurt about it, because the POV is all that matters.
Exactly.
So I don't understand why there was this, oh, I can't believe you put me in. Like, it doesn't matter. Who cares who he puts up? It's all about the POV. So, I mean, sure, I understand why he did it. His reasoning was, don't let me get Cody. He sees Cody as the best competitor in the house. Don't let me give him that little extra bit of fire under him by putting him up. So I guess that's why, especially on top of his, everything that happened during the HOH.
Yeah. I mean, Christmas made a point. She said, putting up Cody will look good for you to the jury and give you, more credibility, which I agree. If he had done that, maybe you could have just given Cody a little heads up and done that. But again, like you said, it doesn't matter because it's all about who won the POV. And spoiler alert, woo, I don't have any sirens or anything. Cody won HOH. So we basically already know who is leaving. And wait, I don't know if she said. Oh, we have another guest coming in.
I literally just have to say, behind the scenes, I said that thing about Nicole. Then I saw her pop up in Skype, and I went, "Uh-oh, I'm in trouble." Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought she was in.
She's not in yet.
Okay.
I'm so confused.
But yeah, no, I think it's I think it's very interesting to see how it's all going to play out. I think I agree with you, Rachel. They are running out of content on the show today.
Yes.
We got to watch on the live feeds how Enzo was talking about like how he likes to smell parts of his body, and then I turned the feeds off.
Oh my Lord. Yeah, we had some really great content in this last episode. We got an incredible sneezing bit from Nicole that was really, I mean, it was just art, to be honest with you. Shakespeare, if you will. Okay, so we're going to bring in our next guest. She's not the Nicole that's in the house. She is Nicole A. Let's give it up for Nicole Anthony. Baby 21 and 22 house girls.
I love that voice, Rachel.
Long time.
We just, hey girl. Wait, you're muted.
How dare you?
Oh no,
what
she's
happened?
still muted. It's her first time.
Oh,
guys.
here.
There she is.
It's the addictive Nicole.
Hey girl.
No, really?
Well, welcome to the party. Sorry we sent out the invites really, really late, but we appreciate you showing up last minute.
Aw, no problemo. I hear we were talking about smelling body parts and sneezing, and I'm like, I gotta be there. Especially if the banana peel scene is coming. Like that's my forte.
That's right.
Oh,
yes,
gosh.
we also had a nice banana segment as well. So let's not forget that we had that as well. Okay, so we had Cody when we basically know who's going home. I mean, let's just, who would you send home? Who would y'all send home? So we have Christmas and we have Nicole on the block. Who should Cody send home? I mean, it's pretty obvious, but what do you guys think?
From Cody's perspective, obviously Christmas.
Yeah, of course.
From my perspective, maybe try to break it up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, that's what's hard. Like we're not in there, so like we could stand here and cast judgment all we want, but we don't know what's going through their heads, and we never will. So when you see them trying to make game moves, we sit here like, oh, what an idiot! Like in their mind, this is like they're like, yo, this is gonna help me in jury. I gotta do this. This is gonna help me with management. This is scaring the votes. This gets me to the end. Like it's hard to say. It really is, because we're not there.
Yeah, Nicole, or no, you'll go, Eric. Sorry.
I was just gonna say it's easy for me. Fa la 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 la, felon. Christmas. Bye bye. Nobody's voting for Nicole to win this game, so get rid of Christmas.
Eric, wait? You know what I'm looking forward to?
What?
Your post interview with Nicole Franzel.
You want a hot take?
I would love to have a hot take.
You want breaking news that we have not even mentioned on our shows?
Yes. Hit it with us.
I have been speaking a lot with people in Nicole's family.
Oh, wow.
That bridge has been mended.
Oh, okay.
And I think that she will be doing our show 100% when the season's over.
Nice.
I'm gonna help build the bridge.
I'm glad that turned around.
It did. It's great.
Yes.
Hey. Don't give credit yet. We'll see how it goes.
How was your interview with the great almighty Memphis, who decided to tear down?
You interviewed him?
Here's the thing. Not really a big Memphis fan, and I don't think this is a secret, so I think we're allowed to say this. We don't obviously get to talk to you guys in jury. Yeah. So we just submit the questions, and then we get the video sent back to us, and then we cut it together.
Gotcha.
So I just may have had a little fun with the video that Memphis sent back, is all I'm saying. It was interesting. I might have yelled at him. I might have asked a different question and then had his answer. It's fun. Just watch it, everyone.
Where is it? I want to see it.
Here. It's here exclusively in the TVCO app, Sam. I'm glad that you asked.
This is pre-planned. I just fell right along in the trap. I really want to see this. This is actually really cool.
No, it's a good one. I asked him stuff like, how did it feel to be the only person to make it to the final 2 chairs in 22 seasons and get no votes from a juror?
I loved that. When I saw that, I was like, that is perfect.
Yeah, Eric was savage.
And like, ooh, you got such a great legacy. You got out Nicole Anthony. Stuff like that. Thoughts?
You totally got it.
Yeah, that angered me so much when I saw that. I cannot even tell you how much that pissed me off.
He's a man with a very interesting perspective of the game. It's very alpha. It's very pound the chest, get rid of like the people I view as insignificant, get rid of the people I don't really respect. And that's just his like nature in the game. I don't really know how else to word it other than, okay, you're not really relevant to me. I want you out for that reason.
Yeah. Out of everybody, Nicole, that's left in the game, I mean, assuming Christmas goes home and we have Nicole, Cody, and Enzo, who would, I mean, and you've seen the gameplay outside of it. So, you've seen what Enzo has done. Who would you, because we were talking about big moves on Enzo's part, and I heard that you and Eric got in some type of discussion about that. So let me ask you, what big moves has Enzo done? And out of the 3 remaining, who would you award the title of Big Brother All-Star champion?
So obviously, like Sam was saying, it's different, as you know, Rachel, from being in that house versus watching it out here. Watching it out here as a fan, I have to say Enzo, I root to win because I'm always team underdog. And I feel like of those 3, he would be the underdog type. Mm-hmm. I feel as though if and when he gets those final 2 cheers, his argument can't just be like, everyone likes me, yo. It needs to be, this is what I did each week. He needs to articulate how he navigated. If and when he finds out, he has already found out about the big alliance, he needs to say, you guys were a loyal 6-person alliance that always kept me with you. You're a loyal 6-person alliance that got rid of one of your members, got rid of a second and a third and a 4th number of your members before me. And I think that's what he really needs to ride home, is the fact that he won comps, made friendships with people like Christmas and whatnot, and navigated to the end. That's a big testament to his social game, especially in regard to how this alliance formed and when it formed. He was able to navigate that in a way that, unfortunately, me and a lot of the pre-jurors and early jurors didn't.
Yeah. So Holly, because you voted for Holly to win, and she was, I guess you could say, quote unquote, the underdog from her season, but she kind of had, when she explained her game to you, though, you understood her game that much more, because that's what Enzo's going to have to do.
Yes.
He is really going to have to explain it. But I've been saying that short amount of time that they have to be able to talk to the jury, I don't know if Enzo's going to be able to crank out all of the information that he needs to crank out in that small amount of time. Like Holly, like Holly was.
Even last year, I'll admit, Holly's speeches are not what sold me. I was sitting there going, no. It was me and Holly speaking during the week when we would sit outside and she would lay out her whole game for me. So at finale, listening to her, I was like, no, this is not what you told me outside. So I feel like it's going to be the same thing with Enzo, where, like you said, if he had so much more time to explain it, he'd be good. But I don't know if he'll be able to pull it off and like that, especially if you sit next to Cody.
Who would have ever thought that Big Brother could be such a game that if you have such a big plan, make sure it's a short plan, because if it's too long, there's no time to explain it. You'll probably lose. Like, can you imagine?
That's true.
Yeah.
Like, jeez.
You need this is what I did. Quickly.
Yes. Point 1, point 2, point 3. This is it. Not, hey, all right, 1 through 15, and we have ABC, and then 1, 2, and 3 clauses. And let me tell you why. Like, it doesn't work.
It's true.
In a world, okay, so let's just say Cody and Enzo go to the final 2. Is there a world where Enzo wins? Could he win?
I think
we've got our OG Matt, the best host ever. Shout out to you. I cannot feel your pants here. But Matt says that Enzo will win, and this will be a weird season. So I don't know. Could Enzo win? I mean, so let's go through the votes. We have Ian. So say we have here. So we have Cody.
Game.
Ian respects game. Do you think Ian would be voting for? Who would vote for Enzo? Let's look down the line. We have Ian. We have Davon. We have Kevin, Danny, David, Tyler, Memphis, Christmas.
I think we could see a Memphis and Christmas vote for Enzo if they're still kind of like, scorned. Yeah.
But I feel like, I don't know, I think Memphis would be like, what are my boys?
Alpha.
We did this. I know. I have respect for them for blindsiding me like the way they did.
True.
I'm gonna give it to them. I don't know. I can see Memphis being like alpha male. Like, he didn't know that was the plan. He was blindsided. That's why he couldn't overcome it. Pride. I can see him vote for Cody, though. I don't know. I mean, it's actually weird answering this because, like, I have no clue. And yet Nicole is sitting here, the one that actually lived with Memphis. But I'm here like, Nicole, I don't think you're right.
You're like, no, I mean, you got it pretty accurate. He's an alpha who very much could be like, well, he got me out. And when you get me out, I'm a pretty big deal. Like, I could see him doing that.
And there was no way I didn't have a chance to fight for my game because I was blindsided. That's how I see that. So I don't know. I think Christmas would probably vote for Enzo. But even like Davon, I really think there's too many people in jury that like respect the game. Kevin has always made it clear that he respects the game. Ian respects the game in the latest jury segment. And then you take David. David's a thinker. I could see him being like, okay, yeah, Cody got it. I could just see David being like that. And then who else is in jury?
Tyler. What about Tyler?
Tyler. Yeah, and Tyler I think would respect the game. So I think jury's a lot of game voters. I think so.
I think you're crazy if you think that Memphis, who on day 4 walked around that house and went, I can't wait to finale night when I can tell TMZ to go F themselves because they wrote a bad article about me 15 years ago. I think Memphis right now is making little Cody and like Nicole voodoo dolls in that jury house. And I think he's going to be very mad at them.
So he's causing waves in the jury house.
Oh, I could see him not voting for Cody and voting for Enzo. And I wonder if Devon will find Cody just as guilty as Nicole Frenzel. Like, will she, like, if Danny does not take credit for that vote flip in jury, I could see Devon just transferring her feelings of what happened with that David vote flip right onto Cody and voting for Enzo.
But jury's not game though. Jury is all personal. You're not on camera. You're having heart-to-heart talk, so your whole heart spills at that point. Would Devon really go through the motions of let's all put the votes on this? Like, wouldn't she eventually speak from the heart and say what she means? And do you think she would still lead that way?
Devon, who was willing to give up her game for the cause and the movement that she went into that house for, yeah. I think she's willing to do that. I think she will in no way ever vote for Nicole, ever. But I could be wrong. But I mean, just based on what she said when she walked out the door. And I mean, we saw her in... Yeah, go ahead.
It could literally come down to those people that weren't in the 6-person alliance being like, we want to reward somebody who wasn't in that 6-person alliance from day one, Enzo. And possibly the people that were in that 6-person alliance being like, meh, I wasn't the member of the 6-person alliance to make it. I'm rewarding Enzo, which could happen on both ends.
Yeah, the problem is that Cody's so likable. Nicole, how was Cody in the house for you? Was he as likable as he comes across?
I think he is, no, like, how to word it? He is likable. I think I was asked in another interview, we were all under his haze, and that's what I won't agree with. I don't think he has this aura about him where it's like, oh my God, I can't touch him. I'll say maybe Tyler has that aura of like calm and cool and collected. Like, I like this guy. Like, I'm not like, we're cool. I'm not going to touch him. Cody gives off a certain level of like arrogance where you're kind of like, I see through this. And I think, a lot of us did see through it. We just didn't get the power to take him out. But he's likable, but I think a lot of people in that jury see how arrogant he is with a lot of things, which we did see case in point during that last episode when he's in the DR so pissed off that Enzo's playing his own game and he's not playing Cody's game. You see like a snippet of how he is.
So we could see the jury maybe thinking he's a little too arrogant and he's a little
too happen,
big for his britches, I guess you could say. So who knows? Maybe we could say, I'm trying to play devil's advocate because it's all, Cody's going to win. But I mean, you never know. What I want to do this scenario too. I want to do a Nicole Cody situation. Any way does Nicole Franzel beat Cody in the final?
No.
Nope, not at all.
I think it was very telling when Danny said, oh, no, I don't hold it against Cody. And 2 seconds later, she was like, Nicole's not playing a good game. And I was like, oh, wow, okay, you decided like that. You're not holding it against Cody, but you're very much holding it against Nicole. So I feel like that right there was very telling of the whole jury.
Yep. Game and social. Like, no matter how you look at it, I don't think so. I think it's happening.
Nope. No.
Yeah, poor. Well, what about Christmas? This Christmas is going on. Poor Christmas. I feel so bad for her. Okay, I have a question. Okay, well, Sam and Nicole, because you were in the house. Question on this. Did you ever have, like, if you were going to win HOH, did you ever tell your family to put in any types of codes or coded phrases in any of your HOH letters?
Go ahead, Nicole.
I didn't, and then when I got off the season, I was told that you write the letters before the season even begins. So if you're like, okay, write the word blue if my alliance is turning against me, they're writing it pre-season before anybody's even turning against you. That's what I was told, but then we see letters where people are like, happy birthday, son, and it's like, wait, what? So then I'm like, I don't really know, but I never had a code. I apparently did everything wrong. I don't have codes. I don't have pre-games. I screwed it all up.
Here you are killing it on TVCO.
Wait, Nicole, I want to talk about the pregame. So, like, you didn't pregame at all.
Wait, but I want to hear Sam's answer.
Okay, never mind.
Oh, about the letters. Yeah. So the letter thing, I did not realize this, but also too, like, I never watched live feeds. I never watched past seasons before season 15. Like, I didn't know everything that Big Brother comes with. Talk about a huge package of Big Brother that I've missed out on. Whether it be Evil Dick or whatever, I had no idea until I was on the show. And watching it back now, I see little things where I'm like, wow, someone could have really said that. But I think Nicole was right. They do the pre-written letters, because Melissa wrote me out a letter like, the boys are fine. We are great. Your job is good. Like, stuff like that. And, like, in reality, like, they could be complete lies and nothing ever changes. However, I would say if you're going to the house, you need to make out code words. This is going to sound very, very bad. Do not hold me to it. I experienced it firsthand, so I feel like I could speak about this matter. If you have a death in the family, I feel like now is the time to throw in the code word. So if, like, the death letter comes through and you're crying and doing the whole thing and it's sad, and also Melissa's like, but the stars did shine greatly tonight, I'd be like,
oh shit.
Nice. Like, it would totally change the dynamics of the game. I think that's the only way you would get an actual accurate letter in there by what, a week? I think by the time you get the letter in, it should be a week. That would be the only way, is to have a code, but you'd have to wait for a death in the family.
So did you have a code?
Poor fake Grandma Rosie.
Yo, that'd be genius. She'd be like, hey, your aunts, they passed away. Like, okay.
Your great aunt twice removed from your stepdad's son.
I'm pretty sure they require proof, which is why I'm here to let future players know I'm available for murder for hire.
No, don't even say that.
We're joking, but I learned how to get away with it with the tiger.
This is also very still bad. How is that any better? But I like, Melissa had to rewrite the letter. I think she said 7 times when my Pop died, which is where this was his bedroom here. Love you, Pop. When Pop died, Melissa, like, submitted a letter, and they wrote it back and said, all right, you're giving too much information. You listed the hospital he was in. And then Melissa rewrote the letter, and they were like, great, but you listed what time he went, and we can't have the date. And then she read it, like, she was sick of writing the letter a million times. Like, just get over it. And, like, she ended up telling Sean Laws, the producer, she said, listen, don't even write a letter. Just tell Sam in the microphone in the DR, Sam, Pop died. He was happy. He was with family on July 4th. That was it. Pow. Done. Like, Melissa got so sick of rewriting the stupid letter because there were so many things, but it had to line up for the show, and that's where we're at now. So technically, it still would be hard to get the little code in there. And at that point, would I want to hear a code? If you're crying, do you want to hear, like, hey, but the sun was bright today? Like, okay, can you give it a second, please? You know?
I don't know how anybody makes a code realistically when in that house everything changes week to week or day to day. Even if, like I said, I tried to get Nicole to come up with she wanted 0 part of it, but we also both agreed that we'd mess it up somehow. So there was also that. But the way everything
I'm just gonna do
changes,
that on my own.
imagine if you wrote the note and put the code in like don't trust Sam. Sam, like somehow you knew I told Nicole don't trust Sam. Then literally the day before, Sam has the epiphany. He's about to save Nicole's game. She now gets the letter. Cut Sam.
Yeah.
And for the rest of my life, you letter writer have to live with that was because of you. I would never want my family to feel that way. I would never want to be a part of that.
I could see that. I feel like it'd be like you ever watch The Christmas Story with the kid with the freaking BB gun, and he gets the little letter. I feel like that's how it'd be on Big Brother. You'd read the letter in the DR. You'd run to the bathroom. You would decode it and be like, "Drink your Ovaltine." Like, what?
I would forget the code. I would forget the code and be like, wait, is Eric telling me I'm wrong for not trusting Janelle and Kaser, or is he telling me I'm right? He's telling me I'm right. I knew it. House meeting.
Yeah. You still cheated and still sucked at
it. And if this season taught us anything, it's that all you need is a wall yeller, which I always thought, like everyone said, what would you yell to Nicole? Like, what would you yell to Nicole if you could yell anything to her? And I would have said, like,
hello, friends.
I would have said, Sprinkles says to trust Janelle and Kaser or whatever. Then literally the next day, there's a wall yeller yelling about Sprinkles over the back wall, to which we then find out is Janelle's dog's name.
Which is weird.
Which is also very weird. So if it was somebody in the house's dog's name. Maybe I got it wrong. Maybe it wasn't Janelle's dog's name. But somebody on the live feed was like, yeah, my dog Sprinkles. And I was like, oh God, if I would have done that, could you have imagined that I would have given the wrong code? Nicole would have been like, oh, it's about that person's dog. It was just, no, it's never worth it, is the moral of the story. It's never worth it.
And there's cameras on you all the time. So Big Brother would find out and you'd probably be held for cheating. You'd probably be kicked off. And then it's not a true win. Because if the rest of the population that watches live feeds, they're your biggest fans. If they were to actually know and decipher, because they are smart, if they were to decipher that you cheated and you won, you'd still be hated. And then you won, but with a really trash name. And is that worth it to you? Some people, I would say yes, because I'd want to win for my family. What do I care? But in reality,
I would say no.
Everything we went through with the hate mail and stuff, I'm sure we've all gotten it. It ain't fun. That's only a tip of the iceberg. So imagine being that person that the live feeders and the people who are addicted to Big Brother deciphered that you were the cheater. Can you imagine? No, you'd have to sign off social media. You'd have to go.
We don't have to.
Yeah.
It's called All Stars, and no one got in trouble from that whole alliance.
Should we call it all
social media hate them?
Yeah, I actually told my parents to put in a code. I can't remember what it is. They're actually here right now, so I probably should have asked them. But I did try to cheat with that. I'm not gonna lie.
What was
but
that?
it never. I can't remember. It was something like, I remember saying to them, if I can trust the people that I'm working with, say this. And if I can't trust the people that I'm working with, say this, which is a completely big umbrella.
That's vast. That's huge.
Well, I don't know what exactly. And so thank God I never won HOH so that I didn't have that mess. But I think I remember telling my parents that. But then when I went in the house, I completely forgot what the code was that I had told them.
I can see that.
So by that point, I was like, well, if I win HOH and they say something, I'm not even going to remember which way it's supposed to go.
Yeah. And also, even if you were to have a code, you can't be that bland about it, because they would see right through it. They're not stupid. So if you were to be like, hey, Sam, we're living the dream here and we vacuumed the kitchen floor, they'd be like, okay, you could get rid of the last part. It was irrelevant. So you'd have to say something about your life and about the show. And no, they're smarter than that.
That's
they dealt with everything.
I was very weirded out by Nicole F's letter with the whole Victor being like, I coach soccer.
Yes.
I broke my toe. I was like, what is happening here?
You're doing great. Sending great vibes or whatever he said.
It was weird.
Yeah.
That's like my sister being like, I broke my second toe on the right foot at 2:07 a.m. It was weird. I don't know. It was odd.
Yep. I totally agree with you. I thought the same exact thing, but I thought I was crazy for speaking up. So thank you for speaking up.
Don't you speak bad of my precious Nicole Frenzel. She would never cheat.
We're not saying cheating.
I'm not saying cheat. Maybe just some outside world. Hey, there's some issues out here. You know?
You ever accidentally do a test, and when you go to get up, you accidentally look at like the marker board, and you're like, "Oops, nope, that's not cheating. It was an accident." And you know the answers.
Yeah.
No, just me. Okay.
I was
homeschooled.
I was bad in high school. I got caught having the entire answer key on my desk.
Wow.
Well, no,
codes in the house.
I was like I was like looking at it, and I like took it, and then somebody told on me to the teacher, and then the teacher brought me outside and was like, "Were you looking at the thing?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, whoopsies."
You admitted.
I was the one that would get guilty and give answers to people. Like if I saw somebody panicking, I'd be like, "It's B."
Oh, I was so bad one time. I was in Spanish. I suck at Spanish, and I was in my. I think I was in 11th grade. I can't remember. But I basically cried the entire time I was taking a quiz, and because I did not know what I was doing. So my teacher, after the class was over, she took me after the class, and she did the entire quiz with me.
That's nice. That's a teacher.
It was very. Shout out to Mrs. I don't even know your name, but thank you so much, 11th grade.
We love
11th grade teacher.
I don't know your name.
We love you,
11th grade Spanish teacher.
All right, well, we are going to head out of here soon, but let me just start off with, we've got, we're assuming Christmas is getting cut. We have got Nicole, Enzo, and Cody. Who is in the final two chairs, Sam, and who is winning?
I was just reading a comment.
Who?
I just looked down for 2 seconds and also was like, what? I heard you like mention my name at the last second. Damn it! I'm not good at that.
All right. Well, who do you think is winning? We've got Nicole, Cody, and Enzo. Who's in the final two chairs, and who is winning?
It's going to be Cody and Enzo. Because if Cody wins his way to the end, which they normally do, I think Cody will be like, listen, loyalty, but Cody knows he can win Enzo. But still, either way, he'll be like, loyalty, I told you, Enzo, I'm bringing you. Pow! Bringing him. If Enzo goes to the end, I think he's going to bring Cody. He's going to lose. Cody will still win. Nicole might cut Cody. I don't know. She's kind of weirdly crushing on him, I guess. So I'm saying Cody's going to win. I sent Cody an Instagram message 2 nights ago because I know his brother Paul is seeing this. Well, not this, but the message. And I said, Cody, I was like, it's October, last night. I was like, Cody, it's October 19th, and I'm calling it now. You're going to win the whole entire thing. And I'm hoping my comment will be so impressive to him that he'll send me like half his winnings. So I sent him a message really quick, and I checked out. So if he wins, I'm good to go. Then I had to go over to Christmas's Instagram and be like, hey, if you win this, it's great for you. So excited that she wins. I'm trying to touch all bases to collect my earnings.
All right. Quickly, Nicole, who do you think? Who do you think's winning final two chairs?
Cody and Nicole in the final two, and Cody wins.
Nicole in the
I think Cody wins. It brings Nicole. Yep.
Wow. I will say it's going to be Enzo and Cody in the final two. Cody wins, but I hope I'm wrong for the same reason I was cheering for Nicole Frenzel all season, and that's because we got a whole lot of Team Nicole merch. So it's really interchangeable.
Let's go, Nicole. With no end initials, so just sell Nicole merch.
No end initials, so we would love a Nicole win.
Big brother.
Yes, so I agree with you. Enzo, Cody is winning. You can find me on social media at Rachel Swindler, guys, and on Twitter at Rachy Swin. Eric, where can everybody find you on social media?
At Reality Recaps everywhere.
Nicole?
I am at Strong Island Nicole on Instagram, at Strong Island NI2 on Twitter.
And then Sam?
Yes, Instagram, SamSmithBB21. I had to leave the BB21 there because everyone thinks I'm the singer, so that's the only way you can find me. Is Sam Smith, BB21.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us for this chaotic episode. But we'll be back next week. We'll have all of our Armchair All-Stars. Thank you for bearing with us. We love you guys, and we'll see you next week.
Bye. Peace out.